Says I'm live. Hey guys. How you doing? You hear me okay? Happy Sunday. There we go. Hey everybody. Yes. Slottapalooza. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing okay. Hope if you're in Florida, you're safe. And if you are in Florida and you had some damage or some issues, hope everything is going to be okay for you. Really do. Everybody having a good weekend. Unfortunately, tomorrow's Monday. Back to it tomorrow. We got, oh, hey now, first time off. What are we going to talk about today? Not really sure. Well, no, I am sure. We are going to break time. Yeah. We are going to talk about new Scalextric silver Camaro. And we're going to break out Senna here. Senna's got some issues again. I popped him back in there, and he appears to be, hey, Cuthbert, he appears to be cooting off. And thank you, Charles. Thank you very much for showing up. Folks appear to be, Senna appears to be coming out of the cockpit again. Got to put him back in there. Slot Car Man Cave, cheers. So, any projects anybody working on? Why do I keep coming off right there? What is going on here? This is a pretty broad curve here. This is not a terribly hot motor. This is an E200. This is very, very mild car. Very mild car. Don't understand what is going on. Hey, Jay. Cheers. Coming out again. It must be just leaning just enough that it's coming out. Does this even lean? Yeah, the body leans a little bit. Not much, though. Chassis tight. Yeah, it does lean a little bit. Like I said, not much, though. This. How do you know when a motor is going bad? It stops working. The car slows down. Motor usually gets, when I've seen them, the motor usually gets really hot when a motor is going bad. So, you know, if you've been driving for a while and the motor gets pretty hot, motors really don't get hot even after they've been running for a long time. Like if you're doing even on like a 24-hour race, the motors really don't get all that hot. If the motor gets hot, that's a good bet. So this is a rebody, or this is a chassis that I took to Germany years ago, and they wanted to, before I brought the Mustang back, when we were talking about bringing a Mustang back when I worked for Carrera, they asked me, well, if we brought it back, you know, were there liveries we could do? I mean, yes, the Mustang, even though technically the Fastback wasn't raced in Trans Am, Mustangs are raced all over the place, even if the Fastbacks are super heavy because of the big sheet of glass back there. So this was like a test case to see if I could get big wide tires under the Carrera body with the same amount of width that we had available. This isn't the stock chassis, but I did this with the stock chassis to prove to one of the design team guys that you could get big fat tires on a low chassis, on a flat chassis, under the body with the amount of width that we had. I had a stock Carrera chassis, one of the old flat chassis, which was basically the exact same dimensions as this underneath. And hey, Mike, cheers. Fix cracked plastic Ninco wheels. Replace the wheels with metal wheels. Good luck trying to get Ninco replacements these days. So this was basically a test case to get a flat chassis under the Carrera Mustangs, which, as we all know, the Mustang back end is way too high up in the air, pretty much. And I was told it couldn't be done. And I said, well, I brought this not this car, but the green car from Fast and the Furious. I still have the body here somewhere. And I said, well, I've done it. And the guy just looked at me. The design guy just looked at me and said, well, we can't do that. And I'm like, but I've done it. He's like, no, well, we can't. I'm like, okay, clearly I'm speaking some other foreign language. Anyway, so now this car has an E200 motor. I think this is a 27 tooth or maybe a 26 tooth SCX Pro gear, I think. It's got a slotted pod, an inline pod, and this is a 3D printed chassis. This is an old one. This would have been from Shapeways, I believe, from Shapeways. This was fairly long time ago. So now it's a nice drivable little car. I mean, I just wanted it to be. I really love the Carrera body. They did a nice job on the fastback body, and this was one of the first cars that we released. This was a livery that I picked along with the blue and white, or the white and blue livery on the car. We released a bunch of these then with the, it was meant to just be a fun little car. You know, people got all over us because it wasn't a Trans Am car, but I was trying to use the molds that we had. We had this mold for Carrera, and it seemed to make sense to redo it, and that's why we started redoing the Mustang. So the black one and then the white one with the blue stripes, those are the first two that we had done after years of not making any Mustangs at all. And yeah, so the rest is history. I think they are still doing these, although I haven't seen any Mustangs in a while from them. You can get a nice flat chassis, a 3D printed chassis, put it under it, fits fine. You can put, I still have the full interior on this car. I didn't hack up the interior. The E200 motor is plenty of motor for this car. And yeah, this would be a nice car to race at your club. You know, whether it's really competitive or not, I don't know. But it's a fun car. Buy new. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You gotta, there's only so much you can replace when you got an old car and things get broken. Unfortunately. So this car still has the magnets, and I am not going to take the magnets out of this guy because that will take freaking forever. Oh, so Senna is just going to kind of lean there a little bit. So here you go. Scalextric Senna car. I mean, it looks like a very nice, they did a great job on the livery on the car for sure. I'm not an expert on this car, so I can't tell you if the shapes are right. I mean, it looks okay to me. Now, obviously, this is, oh boy, we got a movable Senna here. I think that might be part of the problem. So when you move the guide, the wires push Senna around. That's probably part of the problem with why this thing. And I just lost Senna. Yeah, he's there are wires that push around inside here. Can you see that? Yeah, sort of. You can see one of the wires there, and they move inside. Drunk, yeah, exactly. It's unfortunate. Oh, where did he go? Oh, we lost Senna. Oh, crap. Where'd the man go? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. There we go. Okay. We're going to leave him out for a second. Yeah. A lot of magnet. Well, for a magnet racer, zoom. As you can hear, probably, I got the other mic put up again. You can hear this is nice and quiet. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear that. It's not quite as loud when you actually have it on the track as it sounds there when I lifted it up. Boy, this thing's a rocket ship, of course. With the magnet, this is only 9 volts. I know it's going to be hard to see because it's black. Well, I don't know. You can actually see it pretty well. This thing is really fast with the magnet. Wow. Yeah. That's a lot of car. Yeah, automate the driver. Oh, this is a slim can also. Yeah, that's another thing. This has got like a 26,000 RPM motor in it. This is a fast one. For me, as a John Player Special livery fan, this is a no-brainer of a car. And hey, TNT, cheers! Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. I like me some Senna, and I really like me some John Player Special livery. He sits way low in that car. Anyway, there we go. So the question comes up, it's like I get these cars for free. I mean, I admit that. Would I buy this car? This car I probably would want because I'm a fan of Senna. I'm a fan of John Player Special. I do like. This is about what year is this? Oh, what year is this, guys? 1985. Yeah, this is about. Hey, Mario. About as new an F1 car as I think is pretty. I think this car is pretty nice looking. But newer than that, I don't think they're really that pretty anymore. But yeah, as a black and gold collector, I think it's a nice car. And even at the premium price, I do like the fact that it has a nice solid metal front axle. Obviously, it's got a metal rear axle. But the fact that you got an F1 car here with a good, make sure I keep the driver in there, with a good solid front axle, even with the guide back behind the front axle, which I really don't like. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a solid little magnet car. And probably if I would take these off, the magnet off rather, it would perform pretty well because the tires are so sticky and so freaking wide. They're going to grip like no one's business on my Polycar track here. So yeah, these tires feel really good. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I would get this car. I would. I think it's a great looking car. The Camaro. I've already talked about this car a little bit. I think they did a really nice job on the car. As far as I can tell, they really nailed the color. They really got the feel of the car. The wheels are too large a diameter. They should have been 15-inch wheels. These are obviously quite a bit larger. I don't know. No, Charles, it was, but I don't know. It was okay, but then they just get a little generic after that. They don't have a lot of character. So, I mean, I think Skeletric did a really nice job with the Camaro, and I'm happy that they did a 78, 79, and yeah, it's a nice car. The Bastos car is coming out soon. I've had this car for a while now. This is the prototype that they sent me quite a while ago, and this one's coming out very shortly, I believe. Or is it already out? I think it's coming out very soon, very, very soon. You have a real one. Oh, very cool, Dewan. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, they did a really nice job on the Camaros. I'm really happy. Oh, and the Bastos car, I'm pretty sure, has much bigger tires on it because there's an issue also with this prototype that they sent me with the distance between the gear and the top of the tire. So you're just about running on the gear. Again, this is a prototype, so it's not how the car is going to be released more than likely anyway. But they fixed it. That's cool. Looks like they fixed it. let's get this guy going again. How's this guy going to perform now that it's... did I clean the tires? Feels like reasonably clean. This is a Ninco Lotus. Speaking of Ninco, I have a lot of Ninco cars that I really like. Yeah, this one feels really nice. This has basically nothing done to it. I think this had a magnet in it that I took out, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see, do we see a magnet pocket? Yes, there was a magnet pocket. This is an angle winder with a reasonably thin, reasonably small motor. What's this? It's a 20,000 RPM motor at about 15 volts. So, you know, we're probably not pushing more than about 15,000 RPM at the most with just 9 volts. I don't know, it's a guess. But Ninco tires, oh baby, on track that basically is like Ninco track, with the grip level of this track is really nice. And the Lotus, one of my favorite cars in real life. Yeah, this car is sweet. I really wish they would have kept on making cars. This car is going to be difficult to be competitive with in a GT class, but it is a beautiful little car. They did a really nice job with the body on this car. This is a little darker. It's a little darker than it appears on the screen there. It's not. It looks a little bright orange. It's not. It's a pretty dark orange, and the shapes on the car are really nice. Yeah, I really wish they would have. Really wish Ninco was still around making cars the way they used to. This is yeah, some nice detail on this guy. That was a fun car. Hey, can this car? Has this car been worked on? Oh, why is this so noisy? I think the guide might be dragging. This is one of the first, if not the first, Pioneer Mustang. I do like yellow. Yellow and black are two of my favorite colors. Hey, Ken. Lotuses, the plural of it's not Loti. Thanks. Yeah, I know it's not. Anyway, this is also one of my favorite cars. Pioneer Mustang. One of the Trans Am cars they did years ago. Like I said, this is probably one of the first Terlinga Racing Jerry Titus. This looks white on here because this is way overexposed. But it's not. It's a beautiful car. Oh, because these tires are so hard. Yeah, these really hardened up. That's why it's noisy. But generally speaking, Pioneer cars are really, really nice. The quality on the cars are really nice. And I actually did get some tires to put rubber tires back on this car because I want to put rubber tires back on the car. Oh yeah, the tires are definitely noisy on that. The fronts are all the noise. Let's hear what this sounds like. It's kind of noisy. Put a little bit of super lube on here from Slot Car Corner. Get it a little quieter, maybe. A little quieter, maybe. Maybe a lot quieter. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, the fronts are nice and hard. Good thing about that is they're going to roll freely. Not going to grip on my track. Yeah, it's getting a little bit of bite. Yeah. Even with the silicone tires and the rubber mostly, it's been on my track. You just gotta love a. I really like these cars. Pioneer stuff is really great. Anybody else out there have some Pioneer cars that they're enjoying? Hey, Via. Cheers. Yes, it's a Polycar track. It's a great track. I'm really happy that I decided to go with Polycar instead of Carrera or Electric, because pretty much everything sticks. The track has got a nice rough surface, so you know all the stock tires fit really well here. Pioneer Legends, yeah. Pioneer Chargers, Mac. Hey, Mac, cool. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Pioneer stuff is really great. It's cool that they've kind of made a business out of American stuff. You know, being a British company, it's kind of neat to see that. Yeah, I really got to get the rubber tires back on here. See how they perform then, because rubber on this track is the ticket. It is the ticket. Uh-oh. Got a tiny little bit of oil. I'm getting a little exuberant with my lubrication. That's what she said. It is nice and smooth, though. You gotta give them credit. There's no weight in this at all. It is a decent little car, pretty much right out of the box. I don't really think I did anything to this car. Wow. Wow. Huh. Man, this really likes to go. Bonk. Bonk. This is a good car. Man, this is a good car. Woo! I love it. I love it. Yeah, what other Pioneer cars people out there have? Pioneer DIY kits? Sure. Uh-oh, what happened? Hey, William, cheers for showing up. John, cool. Lots of folks here. Very cool. Thanks for showing up, folks. Really appreciate it. You love your Pioneer kits. Love my Pioneer cars, but I had to sell them all. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, William. Sorry to hear that. That's too bad. Yeah, they go for good money now these days. There's a lot of really valuable Pioneer cars out there. Oh, so last stream, I know John Kitt. I don't know if John's here or not. He asked about any Ninco classics. This is just about my favorite car. This is a Ninco bathtub Porsche. This is a 356 Porsche. This was was originally released as the Sebring livery with the number 116. It was dark blue, and I re-sculpted it and filled it, and we put louvers on the back deck. You can't really see because it's too bright, but trust me. And these are actually fly decals that I put on there. And this car's still got the NC1, and it's got weight in the wrong place. I really need to brace the front axle, but it's an NC1 car. It's nice and slow with rubber tires. And this is one of my favorites. Now watch, I'll de-slot immediately because I'm not sure how this guy's super quiet. I've probably done tens of thousands of laps with this car. And just with the same little Ninco NC1. So it's a 14,000 RPM motor or something like that. Super slow motor, but it's perfect for this car. This car is so smooth. The classics from Ninco. That's one thing they did. Well, they did a lot of things right, but they did these cars just amazingly right. These cars were really sweet. They were not cheap, but they made some unique stuff. And here, I'll do the sound check. Sound check, microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Listen. Nice and quiet. That is plastic gearing In the rear, that is an NC1. I mean, this is as basic as they come, folks. And you hear how that quiet is? Just, oh, it got away. It wanted to go so badly, just went right out of my hand. It's so quiet. Not fast, but fast enough. And just these old rubber tires stick beautifully. I mean, this is a really, this is a very small displacement car. So this car would have been super slow in real life. So this is like exactly as speedy as it should be, which is not very. Because as we know, it's not all about speed. Well, it isn't for me anyway. It's all about watching the cars go around and enjoying them. That's what I love about them. What else we got going on here? Anybody have any questions while we're just hanging out here? Not too much Doppler with that one. Yeah, that one's nice and chilled, nice and quiet. What do we got here? This is the Skelectric. Ah, okay. Skelectric Corvette. Listen. Pretty quiet. Nice and smooth sounding. Sounds good. These are rubber tires on here. And if memory serves, these rubber tires weren't sticking super well. And a lot too much slide. The track still might be pretty dirty. Let's check out the pickup here. See what kind of pickup we got going on these tires. I don't know. I don't even know what tires these are. These are not Skelectric tires, that's for sure. These might be slotted rubber tires, but I am honestly unsure. Let's try to just do a little track sanding here, shall we? That's the other nice thing you can do about Polycar track. Just throw a car on there and hold it down, and the track will sand it nicely because it's so abrasive. Yeah, this is not sticking really at all here. We gotta do some tire surgery. There's a lot of meat on these tires, so I probably need to sand these down. A little bit of thumping in the back there, so there's a little bit of truing I need to do. I like how quiet the car is, and I mean compared to the Carrera one, I mean you're gonna be able to get a more serious race car out of this, I'd say, than out of the Carrera car. So I am going to be doing a video soonish. It's going to be a video, like a slideshow video, where I'm going to show you how to. Hey, John, there you go. That's a good question. Where I show you how to adapt basic like a DS controller to the Polycar plug, so you'll be able to plug it right in. That video may be out in the next day or so because I'm probably going to do it this afternoon. So my table, this is a 16 by 5 foot table. So it's 2 4x8 sheets. And the guy who made it for me, unfortunately, passed away right at the beginning of the pandemic. My friend Chuck, he had a stroke. God rest you, Chuck. I love you. He and my friend Tommy came down one day, and we went and bought all the wood. This is a very lightweight table, but it serves the purpose. It's actually 2 tables. It's 2 8-foot long tables that are 5 feet wide, and they're kind of like joined in the middle. So if I wanted to, I could just take one table down, and it had been a possibility at one point. Now, obviously, I got to have a track up. I can't have. I would dearly love to have my car in a garage. That would be so much nicer. But I can't. Even if I took down half of the table, my Fiat would fit. So it's only a 1/4 inch thick. It's Luan. It's 1/4 inch thick plywood. So very lightweight. You can't really lean on it. It's meant just to be, only a track table. It's not like heavy duty table. And it's just 1x1s all around. And my friend Chuck put it together in like half a day, and very lightweight construction. If I had to, I could lift one of the tables up by myself, and perfect for a slot car track, because you don't need a lot of it doesn't need to be braced a lot. I mean, it's strong enough, and it's perfect for slot car tracks. So Racetrack Scenic, Shell Bridge, very cool, awesome. Hey Henry, hey Chris. So very cool, Cliff, very cool. Thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate it. So I did set the chat, so you don't have to today. I'm going to see how it goes. If we don't have any spammers or anything like that, I did set the chat. So if you're not subscribed, or if you don't have a YouTube account, you can comment. Please, I mean, if let's hope nobody abuses it. If there gets to be a spammer in here, I'm just going to zap them and we're going to get them out. But normally, to comment, which is why, because I did get some comments about why people couldn't comment. I do have normally have the chat set. So to make a comment in the chat, you have to have a YouTube account or a Google account, and then you have to subscribe. So it kind of filters out people that are just going to come in and like make trouble or whatever. But I do understand that probably there are some folks out there that don't want to have have to log in or something like that to comment. But today I figured I'd change it. So anybody can comment. If you're in the chat, you're welcome to comment. 78 people. Thank you all very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. We're about at the halfway point of the stream usually now. If you do like the chat, or if you do like the stream, please give it a like. It helps me get the videos out to folks that are out there on YouTube. It does actually mean something to give the video a thumbs up. It is a big deal. I really do appreciate it. Hello, Benjamin. Cheers. Any updates? Tangerine Dream asks. Cheers. Thanks for showing up, Tangerine. Any updates from MR Slot Car? And that's how you say it, by the way, not Mr. Slot Car. On the fantastic DN4, the Shadow. No updates. I will ask Ernie if Ernie happens to be here today. Maybe he is. Maybe he can pop in and mention something. But I don't have any updates, but I have a feeling probably we'll get some soon. That would be really awesome. I'm really hoping that the car comes out before Christmas. I mean, we gotta be careful there. We don't want to put too much pressure on them. Saw MR Slot Car is for sale. I don't know what you mean. That slot car, the Shadow? No, it's not for sale yet. Chris, I'm not really sure. 10 or 9 billboards, 10 Marshall stands, 1 flag stand, all from Racetrack Scenic. Thank you very much, John. That's fantastic. Thank you all very much for supporting Kevin, because Racetrack Scenics got an email selling the business. Oh shit. MR Slot Car, Ernie is selling his business. I'll contact Ernie after. I mean, I'm not really great, friends with Ernie or whatever, but I don't really know him that well, but I hope he isn't. That would suck. I'm sorry to hear that if that's the case. So what else should we talk about today, guys? Talk about how much I love these NSR F1s? Nah, it's boring. So a whole bunch of new NSR stuff just showed up the other day. There's a bunch of new Scalextric stuff showing up soon too, I think. And then the Polycar F1s are getting like the worldwide distribution now, the worldwide sales. So that's cool. There's, right before Christmas, we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff, guys. and I hope you support your local dealer. That means quite a bit to me. Whoever your local dealer is, please support them. Let's put the slotted Maserati. Oh, quiet. Oh boy. Okay, Doppler. We're going Doppler. Quiet. How quiet? Oh, very quiet. Extremely quiet. Maserati, one of my favorite modern slot cars. I don't know why these cars haven't gotten more attention. Maybe because it's a Maserati. I don't know, but these cars are great. This is the slotted Maserati. This was the first livery of the car that they released. They released the car with plastic wheels and with metal wheels, so you got both. I did a video about a little bit of tuning on this car. This has got basically my favorite tuning tip is the small head screws. You can see the screws are way inside there, so you can get a lot of nice rattle. I got a lot of crap from people like, oh, it's just screws. Why is this such a big deal? Because on a car like this, every tiny little bit is a big deal on this car when you tune it. And those screws really help quite a bit. They really, really add a lot of nice body rattle, a lot of body float. Yeah, I really love these. Oh, okay. Mike Santee says, so Polycar, the track to go with, in your opinion? Absolutely. Selling my Carrera stuff and looking to do an analog setup? Absolutely, Mike. Polycar track is absolutely the way to go. It goes together and stays together really well, which is nice, from point of view of just ease of assembly. It doesn't, you don't have to fight it to get it to stay together. The short screws. Yeah. So Mike, absolutely. There's a lot of good, you're Mike Santee, you're in the US, I assume, maybe? Question mark. There's a lot of dealers with good inventory of it. And I know that's not the case with the Carrera stuff and with the Scalextric stuff. So, there's a lot of good options, okay, in the US. Send me a message. I'll send you a pack of track if you like. I have an extra pack of track. Yes, Michael McKinney. Yes, Michael McKinney. This is Polycar track. This is about I don't know, 30, maybe 30-ish feet, 32 feet, 33 feet, 34 feet, something like that. I have a routed track, a wood track over here as well. It's a small 3-lane track. I'm going to be doing a project to clean up my garage a little bit. When I do that, hopefully I'm going to be able to take my studio stand here, and I'm going to shoot from a different angle from across the wood track across to the end of the plastic track here. So you're going to be able to see both tracks, and I'm going to do some stuff on my wood track as well because I have a wood track. It's not a big wood track. It's a small 3-lane wood track, but it's a great little wood track. But the Polycar track is the next best thing, in my opinion, to wood because you get great grip and you get nice and flat track, which those two things combined, Carrera track is nice and flat. The grip's terrible. This has the best of both worlds. And I really think it's the best way to go, honestly. Oh, Lion Face, someone showing up to ask a question here. I'm trying to decide whether analog or digital is the way to go. Is the racing better on one versus the other? No. Lane changes, pit stops, ultimately a gimmick for long term. So, if you don't really care about lane changing, if you just want to do basic slot racing with any brand of car on a track, like I can put any brand of car, even some commercial track stuff, because I have an aftermarket power supply hooked up here that has enough power. I can put any brand of analog car on this 1/43rd scale, 1/32nd scale, 1/24th scale, any brand. You can't do that with digital. With digital, you're more limited. Now you can put different chips in, but chips are really hard to find now for any brand for digital chips. So, in my opinion, at the moment, because of a lot of manufacturing shortages, there's going to be a lot of manufacturing shortages for at least another year or more. So you're talking about a lot of slot car companies, a lot of manufacturers I'm talking about here, being out of digital chips for another full year. Personally, I think, hey, Adrian, thank you very much. Personally, I think that Polycar track is the best way to go. Because, like I said, it's a smooth track, not unlike Carrera. It's wider than Scalextric. It's grippier than all of them. So even stock tires are gonna work really well on this track. So you don't have to, if you want to change, if you want to take the magnet out, even if you don't want to take the magnet out, you're going to get maximum grip on this track surface. It's hard to argue against this track. It's cheaper than Carrera also. It fits in a smaller space than Carrera because the tightest turn that Polycar makes is way tighter than 36 inches across, which is what Scalextric is, or Carrera is rather. So from edge to edge, it's 36 inches or 38 inches across on Carrera from side to side, outer edge to outer edge. With Polycar, it's way tighter than that. So the tightest turn is going to be able to fit in a much smaller space. So you're going to get a lot more racing on a smaller space than you would with Carrera. Plus, you have the benefit of it being hard plastic track, which is the smoothest type of surface you can get. It's not as reactive to heat, cold or hot. And the grip alone is worth the price of admission. You can make this track up to 5 lanes wide. You can't do that with Carrera. You can't do that with Scalextric. You can only do 4 lanes wide, or four track pieces wide. Not lanes, it's 8 lanes wide, but for track pieces, you can make this 10 lanes wide. Track pieces is what I meant. Sorry. So that's kind of unique in the world as well. Yeah, my hair. I got plenty of gray in here, guys. Plenty of gray. Yes, Richard asks, good afternoon. Is Polycar track wider than Scalextric? Yes, it is. I did a video about that where I talked to you about, I show you the width. It's absolutely wider than Scalextric, wider enough that it adds quite a bit to the racing experience. With Scalextric, you absolutely have to have the shoulders on there. But with Polycar, you can maybe get away without having them. You should have them, as far as I'm concerned. But it's absolutely wider. It's absolutely grippier. Basically, no tires stick well to Scalextric because the surface is completely smooth. And the Scalextric tires don't have much grip. I mean, if you're racing with magnets, then whatever, it's all going to stick. But this is even stickier with the magnets. So it's even still better. Not going bald. No. I'm 52. There's no bald there. It's nice and thick. Puts a handling on premium. It puts a handling on patience as well. Any other? I saw a question about advice on power supply and controllers. So if you go with Polycar, the power supply that actually comes with the track is pretty nice. It will do a sufficient job. For the longest time, I had the stock power supply, just one power supply, powering the whole track, this track, and it was fine. Because I just race, even like slotted cars and NSR cars with the basic power supply. It's fine. You don't really have to worry about it. I'm going to be doing a video in the next day or so. I'll have it out. LEB just asked me to do this video about how to wire up or how to change the wiring on like a 3-wire, like a Parma controller or the DS controllers that they sell, to plug directly into the Polycar track connection piece. So you're going to be able to use the DS controllers, and there's a little plug that they sell as well. It's super easy to wire these up. You can do this, no soldering needed. You just cut the wires, and I'll show you how to do it. That's really, really great. Kind of mid-step is if you keep the middle step, if you keep the standard power supply, which really is okay, even for a track this big, which is, like I said, it's maybe 30-ish feet of track. Not really sure. I really don't care. It feels big enough for 2 people to have fun on. I don't really need a track bigger than this. That's would be kind of overkill just for me to goof around on and do stuff like this and have fun with. So you can get you can just use the stock power supply that comes with the Polycar set. It's a good power supply, and then upgrade to DS controllers. Watch a little later this week, and I'll have a video to show you how to do that. They're going to plug right into the standard power track connection piece, and boom, there you go, better controllers. Does Polycar make a Maserati 250F or Vanwall? They do not. Hey, Carrie, cheers for showing up. Professor Motor makes a good controllers for Polycar track. I'm sure they do. Professor Motor makes excellent controllers, regardless of their use. They're fantastic. I can't look at this car without driving it. Sorry, gotta get it back on the track here. Got to get it back moving. It's bugging me. You really can't go wrong with any Professor Motor controller. They're excellent. Made by good folks. Excellent quality. I have a Professor Motor controller here somewhere. It's over my office. Boy, this car is sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And of course, bring out quietest car ever. The sweetness. The sweetness is real. Slot it 512M. Remember the Donahue, the Sunoco 512M, the blue one, the blue and yellow car is coming out soon. I don't exactly know when, but how are we doing on batteries here on my wireless? How's everybody doing today? Sunday afternoon. Wireless is looking good. Everybody doing okay? Everybody all right from Ian, from Hurricane Ian? Everybody make it okay? No one got hurt, I hope. Oh, so smooth. So fast, even at 9 volts. Put this car anywhere you want. So easy to drive. Fantastic. There you go. Hey, Chuck. Cheers. Ostorero. Have not tried an Ostorero. They look like beautiful cars. Slot it 512M. Absolutely gorgeous car. Super fast. Super quiet. NSR 9083. Another personal favorite. Not too much overhang on this car. This car is good for twisty, tight turns. Oh, yeah. Stock rubber tires. 9 volts. Tell me I need to go faster. Absolutely not. This is perfect. Yeah, I'm going to do the video probably this afternoon or this evening when I'm done here about putting the wiring up the DS controllers. I was sent a bunch of photos and I was told this is how you do it. So I'm going to put that together. That'll be on the Slot Car News on my YouTube channel right here in probably a day or so. Also, can I get you to subscribe to the LEB newsletter? I'm helping out LEB these days with their newsletters. On the DS controllers, what ohm is best? The 3 different or three different ones. Anything like 30, 35, 40, 45 would be fine. That gives you a pretty mild controller. Well, here you go. This is an MRC controller. This is not a DS controller, but it's basically the same thing. This is a 35 ohm controller. So let's hook this bad dad up to the track, to the proper lane, and drive the NSR. I got all the cars in the other lane, so I can't put them in that lane. So here you go. This is a basic controller, almost identical to the DS, and this is for this is a 35 ohm controller. Feels good. This is super basic controller. Actually, feels a little better. No brake adjustment on this controller. This feels really good, actually. Yeah, this is a 35 ohm controller. I'll bring it over here so you can see it. Here you go. This is a yellow one. Again, this is almost identical to the DS. I believe it's the same handle. This was an MRRC controller, but it's a 3-wire controller, as you see. And what I'm going to do is a video to show you how to hook it up to the a little 3.5 millimeter plug that goes into the standard track connection piece for Polycar. And this is a very basic controller, but it's a very good controller. There's a tension for the controller spring right here that you can set to make it have a little more, a little less tension when you pull the trigger. I have it set, I think, for the most tension. Yeah, for the most tension. So it's a little harder when you let go. It's like it's a little stiffer spring. But this is just a 35 ohm controller, and this is a very, very basic. I know the it's a pretty common rating for a controller, and this is perfect for this NSR with pretty decent little, pretty quick little motor in it. This feels really good, actually. Sensitivity is on point. What you want is you want to be able to start a car slowly, so it's not like immediately like starting on like it's a light switch. So you know if it's a decent controller or a decent ohm rating, the resistance on the controller is good. When you can start out nice and slowly, you can just make it creep just like that. It's a nice smooth way, or it's a nice smooth start. So that's, you know, that the controller's pretty much right on the money then. Where it is, so you have good acceleration, and it's got excellent braking characteristics. And oh yeah, this is pretty much perfect, actually. And I really like the handle on the again, this is basically identical to the DS. This is the DS, but it's the professional model DS. It's got a sensitivity and a brake adjustment on it. But that's the controllers that I use, the DS controller, almost all the time when I would race with my club. Anyway, yeah, sweet. This is really good, actually. This is perfect. I'm just going to leave that controller right there. But yeah, this is a DS that's now pretty much out of stock everywhere. I'm not really sure why. But this is a little more, I guess you'd say, upgraded than a basic controller. It wasn't terribly expensive. It was around $120, I think. And it's a step up from a more basic controller because it's got a sensitivity adjustment and a brake adjustment. And yeah, I've used this a lot. I've used this in 24-hour races that I've been involved in. It's a nice, again, not that expensive and good solid controller. You don't have to spend a ton of money on a controller to get a good controller. I've had controllers that are, a couple $100, and it feels, I don't know. I really don't like the idea of people having to feel like they have to spend a ton of money on a controller, just to be competitive. It's not it's not a lot of fun to feel like you can't even really race at a club unless you spend, $400 on a controller. This controller is actually perfect for these cars, which is great because this is just it gives you nice instant response, but it's not too much of like a light switch on and off. You can put the car right where you want it. And it feels good when you're holding it. Yeah, DS stuff is really nice. This is the NSR McLaren, the silver test car, one of my favorites. We got a lot of people in today. Thank you very much. 84 people. Hey, cheers. Car in the lake. Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, Michael. Oh, because you're dry. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You had an issue. Yeah, I forgot about that. Purchased Santana says purchased Polycar BRZ. I like the track. However, could use a crossover. I'm not a big fan of crossovers. I understand why you might want one. You mean a crossover like an X crossing, or like a way to make a bridge? You can make a bridge out of the track just by lifting it. I'm thinking you mean an X crossover to go like a crossing piece. I couldn't tell you, Santana, if they plan to do that. If I did know, I wouldn't be able to say, and I don't know, so I can't say because I honestly don't know. Any thoughts on the effect of cars and track being left in the garage, both heat and cold area? Blizzard of Oz asks. Well, I mean, I live in Pennsylvania, so I don't live in like Arizona or Florida or wherever, but it gets below freezing in my garage. My garage is an unheated garage. I live in north central Pennsylvania, where we get below zero. Well, we get below zero frequently. We get below freezing. Obviously, most of the winter is close to below freezing, and the Polycar track is absolutely fine. I had a Carrera track down here, was absolutely fine. The main problem is if you store track, so like flat track is going to remain flat generally speaking, but if you store track in a container and you have track stacked on top of each other and it gets warm and then it gets cold and then it gets warm and cold and warm and cold, sometimes that track might sag, especially, and might stick in that shape, especially soft plastic track like any Scalextric track, like Ninco track, like SCX track. But Polycar track and Carrera track is hard plastic, so it's less likely to twist, which is another reason I like Polycar, because it's hard plastic track. You don't have to worry about any. The track is nice and flat, basically. So you shouldn't have track in direct sunlight, because even hard plastic track like Carrera can discolor if it's in direct sunlight. It has to get really, really hot for it to melt. But again, I've never lived in Arizona or New Mexico, Florida, places where it gets super hot. So I can't really speak to that. So if I'm said something stupid now, that's why, because I've never had the issue. Here in LA, it gets like a Los Angeles, or yeah, I'm assuming Los Angeles. Blast furnace. Yeah. I mean, I really don't think it's going to get. You're going to be fine with Polycar. You're going to be fine with Carrera. I would not say the same for. I did an event years ago when I worked for SCX, and I had an SCX digital track put up in the paddock with the Flying Lizard folks. I get one of the cars. So I did this event with the Flying Lizard racing team years ago, and these are the cars we raced. It was on a Carrera digital track. No, it was on an SCX digital track. What am I saying? These were the cars we raced. These are Carrera bodies that I adapted the SCX digital chassis to, as you see there. So these were the three cars that I actually raced with the guys at Flying Lizard. The part of the track stuck out into the sun. This was SCX digital track. the part of the track stuck out into the sun and it was exposed to the sun all day. And that end of the track that was exposed to direct sun, it sagged really, really bad. So it buckled. And it was like super bendy. It didn't melt per se, but that day was like really, really, really hot. Steve Sawtell from Slot Car Corner, shout out to Steve. He was with me when we did that event. These cars only got driven that one day basically, and now they've been sitting in my collection for essentially forever. Yeah, so there you go. Flying Lizard raced Flying Lizard cars. So you really don't have too much issue with sorry to be looking at my backside here. You really don't have too much issue with heat with the with hard plastic track. You should be fine. This is a 1/24 scale Carrera Flying Lizard car. It's a digital car, but I can drive this here if you guys care to see it go. I think it still has the lights in it. Never really. I mean, I drove this car a little bit at my club, but we never really raced these. I don't know how this is going to go here. Still the power on? Oh, this might not work now, honestly. Did I take this apart? Did I have this set for digital? There we go. Because as I try to explain to people, and I've been told that, I don't know why people think I'm lying about this or whatever, there's a switch underneath. You flip the switch, pull the trigger on your controller 3 times. It switches from digital to analog. It does. I just did it. People say I've been deceiving people for years about that. But this is a digital car now running in analog mode. I don't know why people have a problem with me saying that it does what it does. But there you go. It do what it do. This needs a lot more power. Anyway. Hey, Jim, cheers. Stainless, yes. So technically, Carrera rails are not, it's a stainless mix. It's not fully stainless. I don't know that really means much to anybody, but it's not technically like fully stainless. It's a mix. This is a Carrera. This is a Courage. No, it's a Renard. This car is fast with a capital fast. I haven't even tried to have this car move for years. This is super dirty. Oh, these tires. Oh, God. Just trying to do a little clean here. See if this goes. Does it move? Oh, barely. It is a little not making contact, I think. I'm picking up some speed. I haven't oiled it either. Man, this car is quiet. Spirit was a fun company. They released some interesting stuff for years. This was the Renard that they released, an LMP2 car, I believe. And it's got the stock inline motor on it. It's got the stock gearing on it. It's got SCX Pro Braid, stock guide, stock front wheels, not the stock front tires. Not a lot of play in the pod. This was like a 24,000 RPM motor, I think. These cars were nice and fast at the club, and lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun to drive. 93 people. Holy crap. Cheers, folks. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Please give the channel, give the video a thumbs up, if you will. Mustang, 1/25th scale Mustang, made by my friend Sammy for me. This is an H&R chassis car. This is a brass chassis with like about I think this is an 18,000 RPM motor. So not a super fast motor, but this is, we race these in our Trans Am 24th, 25th scale class. Hey, Michael, thanks very much, Michael. I appreciate you showing up. This car is a super fast car at the club. It's got sponge tires, right? These are sponge tires? No, these are rubbers. These are hard rubber. So on this track, it's going to stick real well. But this is one of my favorite cars. Not a lot of brakes in this car, but when I was a kid, we had a Mustang. We had a convertible. I think it was like a 60, I'm not sure, 66, 67 convertible. And it was just this blue color. I think this is like Viking blue or something like that. And yeah, this car goes really nicely. That's the other good thing about Polycar track. You can race. Hey, West Coast. Cheers. You can race 24 scale cars on the Polycar track. It's a great track, guys. You can race anything on it, basically. Now, you know, you get really big, wide cars on there, you're going to have a problem. But not narrower cars like a Mustang or a Camaro or something like that. You're going to have a lot of fun on Polycar track. Polycar track. What else we got here we're going to get on there? What else are we going to put out? Going to put out another 24 scale car. This 961 Porsche. This is not a 959. The 959 was the street car. This was the Le Mans body car that they raced. Basically, I think 1 year, 2 years. And again, H&R chassis under a model body. I think this is also an 18,000 RPM motor. This has got a vacuum form interior. This was built for our IMSA class because this was a IMSA GTO, or this was a GTX car, I believe, in real life. This car has silicone tires, silicone over sponge. And I've actually won races with this car at my club. This car is really fast. Even in my hands, it's fast. It is loads of fun. It's a basic car. Not a lot that we do to these chassis for these cars. Just basically a way to get racing larger scale stuff. There you can see the. Hey Garth, cheers. You can see the chassis there. Like I said, this is a 24th or 25th scale body. And Porsches are favorites of mine. And there you go. Pro Track wheels on the back. Foamies on the front. Just barely touch the track. This car is, for the class we have, the rules we use, this car is a very, very, very competitive car. Lots and lots of fun. Really love this car. What else can we put out there? Oh boy. Let's do these. Hey, about an hour now. We're hit about an hour. These are motorcycles, the MotoGP bikes that SCX made. These lean, if you can believe that. There's little outriggers. Yeah, you can see there. They lean as they go around. They were better than the Skelectric ones that were released because these actually would go around a corner. These are a little tippy, just like a real motorcycle, actually. So let's get these guys. Let's get one of these guys going around. Let's see if I can get this guy. Oh, this one is. I had one of these that stopped working a little bit. No, it's working. It's going to work. I don't think. Oh yeah, it wasn't in the slot. There we go. Oh man. It actually does lean. Oh, we're rocking now. Cooking with gas, folks. Wee zoom. They do work. There you go. Crazy. Beautiful little models, though. They were sold with, actually still have the set up there. They were sold with 1/43rd scale track. So, but these were like probably, I don't even know, like 1/18th scale or something like that. Maybe, I'm not even sure, honestly. But they went okay. It was a nice little set. And SCX did okay with these things. They're kind of fragile, but they are beautiful little models, as you can see. Yeah, they are great looking bikes. Good luck trying to find these now. The set came with 2 bikes, and you had to be careful with them. This is yeah, they are beautiful bikes. 91. Yeah, everybody, if you could give the stream a thumbs up, it really helps YouTube suggest the channel to folks. This is an SCX Pro NASCAR. This is a project that I worked on when I worked for SCX. This was a car, basically like a slotted car. So they had made cars with pods. This is a really fast motor. Unfortunately, when I asked them to make a faster motor than they were making at the time, they didn't listen exactly to what I had suggested, so they made a motor that was a little too fast. These cars were great because all of the SCX NASCAR bodies fit on the Pro chassis. There was kind of like a universal chassis that you could put any of the bodies on, and the chassis were really good. A lot of adjustments, metal front wheels, metal rear wheels, all nice metal parts, interchangeable, basically everything. And yeah, this was an SCX. This was an SCX NASCAR. We made a lot of these when I worked at SCX. We made COTs and aero body cars. I've sold off most of the cars that I had because I needed money, but I have kept a few. I have some of the prototypes of the Pro NASCARs, but this was one of the first COTs. This car is fast. Probably a little too much for this controller, but we'll see. No, actually at 9 volts, it's fine. Yeah, actually though, the tires are really dirty. Not getting much grip. But these cars can be really made to go super fast. Basically like a slotted car, but a NASCAR. We sold a few hundred of each of the Pro NASCARs. I think they made them even maybe a year or so after I was there, after I left the company. But we made them for probably, I'm not really sure, 3 years we made Pro NASCARs. Yeah. I used to work with Mike. Brian and I worked together for a few years at SCX. Brian's a character. I like Brian. Brian's a nutball. He's a lot of fun. There we go. Sticky tires, maybe. Sort of. Nah, not as sticky as they should be. Well, it's okay, I guess. Boom. SCX Pro NASCAR. Good stuff. What gear do you like? What gear do I like to drive in? What do I use to clean my track with? I'll tell you exactly. Here. This is a pro tip from me to you. Oh, you didn't see it. Good. Okay. This is very specific, very hard to find item. This is you're gonna have to search high and low. It's gonna cost you $1 million. Are you ready to see how I keep my track clean? Are you ready? It's just a workroom brush. That's the good thing about this track, is that the grip is so high. All you have to do is just you go around, give her a little brush off, and the rest, and it sticks so well. Everything sticks to this track. It's beautiful. So, and this is a garage. It's super dirty in here. So, yeah, I have great jokes. I think my jokes are pretty freaking lame. But this is just a workroom, just a little broom, and it's perfect. You just go around, do one of these, and it's clean enough because the track is so high grip. You just don't have to worry about it. You know, it's like I said, $1 million damn dollars. This is going to cost you. And so like the Carrera stuff. Here's a piece of Carrera track. Something about Carrera track. It just, you really, I don't know. It just, it's not high enough grip. You know, there's just not enough grip there. There's some grip there, but just not enough. Leave the door open. Yeah, exactly. Cheers, Via. I appreciate everybody stopping. Yeah, opening bid $20. Yeah, right. Yeah, $20 expensive implement here. I appreciate everybody stopping by. It means a lot to have people hang out and work. Where can you get your hands on a Slot Car News shirt? Well, hold on a second here. T. No. Oh boy. Well, here's one way you can help. If you go to my Buy Me a Coffee, you can send a tip, which is always greatly appreciated. Tipping is not required here, but it is absolutely appreciated because it does take me quite a bit of effort and time to do the channel. As you may know, if you're around, I really I put a lot of effort into it. It may not look like it at the moment, but I do. Here, let's turn this off here. Here you go. So here is the, there we go. Here is my merch store. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. I got to get the right link. There we go. See if this link works. There we go. Slot Car News. That is my merch store. So, Slot Car News Special Edition. I'll put a sticker on the little. No, it's okay. Yeah. So there's the merch store. I have shirts and mugs and whatever else on there. Really means quite a bit to sell us. I have the what do you call it? Profit set to a very low markup, just basically to get the stuff out there. I really appreciate folks stopping by. If you want to send me a tip to help me keep going here on Slot Car News, I really appreciate it. Takes me about 10 hours, 12 hours a week to do what I do for the channel here. So tips are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for stopping by, folks. Thanks for the likes, the shares, and the comments here in chat. Everything went really well today, and I'll have the stream opened up for comments for everybody. Next week, I should be able to do a live stream next week. 93 people, I think, was the high point, maybe 94. So, yeah, very cool. Cheers, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. See you all again soon. Don't forget to watch Friday.